My name is Isabel and I'm an Education Community Manager here at ACCA. And today I'm pleased to be joined by Effie Philippou, who is an ACCA member. And in this episode, we're going to explore some of the ways to unlock career potential, boost employability, and grab opportunities for professional development. And I'm really keen to hear about Effie's journey to becoming qualified and discuss her really valuable insights on entering the job market. That's from job searching and networking to professional development. We're just going to chat about her experiences and get her advice on navigating your career path. So, hello, Effie. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's really fantastic to have you here to share your career journey, and hopefully we'll talk about some of the skills that you've developed through your studies and professional roles. So let's kick things off, as always, with a little bit of an introduction to yourself, maybe why you chose ACCA, and a little bit maybe about your current role.
All right. So, Isabel, thank you so much for inviting me into this podcast interview. I'm also doing podcast myself, and I know that it's quite, stressing in order to, in order to prepare everything, in order to be able to communicate with the other part, and I hope, because most of the times I'm the host. Now I'm the guest, so it's gonna be a bit stressing for me. Therefore, I'm a fractional CFO and financial strategist. For the past couple of months, I'm doing this on my own. So let's say I'm a solopreneur. And I currently help businesses, especially in food and beverage and real estate sectors, to strategize and optimize their financial processes. And why I choose ACCA? It wasn't that hard. I mean, it wasn't that difficult. Whoever is finishing accounting and finance in Cyprus goes straight to ACCA. So it was a straight choice for me. I choose ACCA actually because it's global recognition and rigorous curriculum, which I knew would equip me with the skills to excel in the finance industry, which is rapidly changing. And thank God I have ACCA in order to every week to give me newsletter with a bunch of educational stuff. So this is why I choose ACCA.
Brilliant. And it's really interesting that you've already mentioned one of the benefits, because the next question I was going to say was going to ask you is, what are the main benefits of having become an ACCA member? And you've kind of touched upon there the kind of industry insights and updates that you get. But what else have you noticed since you've become an ACCA member?
So ACCA membership opens doors worldwide, and it actually provided me with a trusted qualification that signals expertise and integrity in many countries. It offers ongoing professional development, as I mentioned. You can access global network. I've met several professionals across the globe, and it gives you actually like a flexibility to work across various sectors and industries and countries. Personally, the ACCA qualification has allowed me to live and work in Ireland, and now in the Middle East, slowly, steadily but slowly. It really has no boundaries, and various clients and professionals recognize the qualification across the globe, and that highlights its universal appeal and credibility.
I think that kind of trust, like you say, the trusted and recognized quality of the qualification means that, it has such a it's such a powerful achievement and really boosts employability, I think. And it's nice to hear about the places that you've lived and worked, because this often comes up, the global nature of the qualification, but you've actually got hands-on experience, first-hand experience of working in different countries. But to kind of go back to the very beginning, when you were first entering the job market and searching for perhaps your first job, what were the challenges that you came across and how did you overcome them?
Okay, back in 2017, it wasn't ages, but still, back in 2017, finding my first role was quite difficult because in Cyprus, it was a very competitive environment. It's still competitive, but the demand and the demand dynamics have actually shifted. So it was quite difficult for me to find a job. And what I initially focused, it was on to differentiate myself. And I was actually tried to first work to do some internships. I changed cities in order to do an internship because there was an available internship in my city. I volunteered. I tried to help several people with their accounting stuff. So it was more or less volunteering here and there in order to enhance my practical skills through internship. And to be honest, networking for me, it's everything. It played a crucial role. And as I connected with professionals who guided and referred me to job opportunities, and that's how I landed actually my first opportunities. Someone referred me, and then I got the job.
Okay. Well, actually, I'll come on to networking in a bit more detail later because I wanted to get your thoughts on that. But in terms of, I think it sounds like what you're describing is kind of putting yourself out there and being adaptable. So you said you when an opportunity came up, you took it, and I think that's a big part of it. I know, reflecting back on when I first, into the professional roles that I did have to become quite open-minded. I realized that having a plan is good, but I didn't want the plan to stop me from taking opportunities as and when they came. So flexibility and adaptability became really important, but also resilience. I think it can be hard, like you said. You really need to prepare yourself for some rejection and feelings of nervousness when it comes to interviews and networking, and obviously then there's the imposter syndrome as well. But
yeah, as finance professionals, we're not well known for our extroversy. Therefore, it's quite difficult for us in order to go into the market, speak, do the business development, network with several people. Some of us, I did that in the past, where I like to be behind my Excel spreadsheets and behind my reports. But you have to understand, the network is your stronger asset. So you have to actually focus on doing networking, strong networking, like work 8 hours a day and work on your network 2 hours per day. For me, it's working so much. And I think this is where you have to focus.
Yeah, and I think it's about pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, I guess. Like you say, if it doesn't come naturally to you, I know from personal experience, I've quite a shy person, but I have to work at putting myself out there and striking that balance between being assertive but respecting people's boundaries. It is a skill, and so is so with self-belief. I think that is something that people generally have to work on, putting them when you're putting yourself out there and being exposed and vulnerable in a certain way. But you mentioned about the competitiveness just earlier, and I just wanted to touch on that again. So the job market can be a very competitive space, and I'd like to know how you try and showcase your value, your experience to employers. So if you have any tips on how to create a CV that stands out, or a cover letter if that's what's required, what are your advice for students who are thinking about that?
Okay, first of all, please try to ditch all the not so useful templates you may find in Canva, or you may find in paid softwares or websites. We as people want to have a first look on something and be straightforward. And imagine if you're attending like in a discussion with someone, what will be the first 2 or 3 words that will capture your attention? And this is working also with your CV. What it will capture the attention of the other party that is actually reading your CV? It's not going to be the fancy colors. It's not going to be the fancy structure. It's going to be the clear structure of your CV and your strong selling points. Like we are always saying that companies have a unique selling point. We as people and as professionals, we have also unique selling points. And it's very important for you to stand out somehow in that CV. So this is going to be the first picture that someone is seeing from your experience. So try to put there your strong selling points, your strong competencies, your strong skill set. And I know that you're going and I'm going and everybody's going to use ChatGPT, let's say, but use it in order to brainstorm based on your skills. Go into ChatGPT and write everything that you've done throughout your career, and let ChatGPT structure it for you. But you have to go in, put the effort to write everything down, your core competencies and the projects that you actually work, in order for the person that is reading your CV to understand immediately what is that he or she is getting from you, and how their company is going to be benefited from working with you. I hope I covered that.
No, I think that's a really, really good point, because I think that there are a lot of tools out there, and ChatGPT was the one that came to my mind straight away as well, which it would be tempting to let them do the work, but then you're losing the authentic or core parts of your values and personality that you want to get across. So it's okay to use tools to kind of help you structure things, like you say, or get you thinking in a different way. But I think it's a good exercise to think about what you value and what your strengths are, as well as looking into the company that you're applying for and researching their goals and missions. You need to understand what you bring, as well as what they're going to bring to your role, and what the shape of the role would look like as well. So yeah, I think that's a really important point, and I think that it's really useful for students to think about this and work out what they do well and what they want to do well, where they want to grow, and really think about this stuff.
So confidence is a synonym with actual input. If you've done it, if you know that you're good at what you're doing, put everything in it and say, why me? Because A, B, and C. And stick to that. I mean, everybody wants something. if you are offering that something, just put it out and communicate it confidently. And it's all about confidence. I mean, you have to also showcase your confidence in your CV. And
Yeah.
okay, don't be arrogant, but in your CV, be arrogant. And then in your interview, be less arrogant.
No, that's good, because you need to just put it out there. You don't want anyone to try and, it's not a puzzle for the employer to try and solve. They want to know in your CV and your cover letter what you've done, what you'll bring, and where you want to go with this. So I think it's really important, like you say, in the interview, then you can really let your personality shine. And I think that what I'm taking away from it is just really have a good think about what you want to clearly communicate in a short CV or cover letter. Yeah, shortish. Okay, so you've mentioned networking and making professional connections and how important this has been for your development. And I guess we've also touched upon how that might not necessarily come easily to someone, or it might be the first time they're venturing out and trying to make these connections. So it would be great to get your tips on how to do this.
Sometimes it's who you know, not what you know. And I don't remember if I created this or if I heard this somewhere else. But anyway, network has been vital for my career. It was the first thing that actually helped me to create my own business. I was working 9 to 5, then I was attending industry events and seminars and those helped me actually network with like-minded professionals and professionals that they weren't like-minded. So I knew what I didn't want to be or what to become. And I was always prepared with a personal pitch, or I was also trying to search on the networking lists who is attending and whether I'm interested to them. Therefore, I was targeted. And actually, I had a guest couple of weeks ago where she's a business strategist. And what she said is, yes, you're going to attend events for the sake of it, and you're going to pick up 100, 200 business cards. You spoke to 200 people, and now what? Do you even remember anyone? Will anybody call you? Did you make yourself stand out in the crowd? Therefore, you have to consider that your time is precious. Therefore, if your time is precious, you have to be as targeted as possible.
Yeah.
Make yourself available to these people. See, first of all, how you can help them, and then how they can help you.
Right.
And networking is more or less about building genuine relationships that can provide mutual benefits over time. This is what I believe.
I think that's a really good point, because you don't want to go out there and only say, how is this helping me? It's not, networking isn't about you only. It's about sharing knowledge, sharing, supporting each other, embracing change, and keeping each other adaptable. So I think that's a really nice way of thinking about it. How can I help them as well as them helping me? And I guess with anything, it's kind of practice and putting yourself out there. Once you've made one connection, it becomes easier to make the next connection, and so on. So I think even if it's scary, it's, like you say, be strategic, think about who you can help as well as can help you, and get yourself out there. I think it's take risks, but
Calculated risks.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, and I really like that, having a positive influence within your working environment or your industry. It's a really nice way of thinking about it. It's something that I really, really value about the ACCA community, the global community, is I've noticed that people really, really want to help each other. They want to support and help each other grow, because they really believe in what they do, and they really want to help the next generation. So there are people out there who really do want to help others develop. So I think that's a really important thing to remind ourselves of. So in the roles that you had, have you taken opportunities to upskill? What's your thoughts on how the importance of things like continuous professional development?
Yeah, I was a thirsty young professional when I joined my first audit firm, actually. And I was actually taking everything and every opportunity in order to upskill myself. I took new projects. Once there was there was my partner. It was like 3 months in. I joined in September, and then in February, 6, 5, whatever. And in February, she called me and said, "Effie, come to my office now." I was like, "Am I in trouble? Is my..." And I was junior, and I was like, "Oh God." Anyway, and I went to her office, and she said to me, "Okay, today's Friday. Can you leave for Thessaloniki? It's a city in Greece. Can you leave for Thessaloniki on Monday? We have a project which we need to take care immediately. So can you go?" I was like, "Yeah,
Wow.
yeah." That was it. So on Friday evening, I was collecting everything out of my house, putting into a suitcase, and then off I go on a Monday on a trip. So it was very important for me. I didn't even think about it. It was just to take that opportunity. And until now, I have to say that I was the only one that was actually from my department, from my floor. I was called from the partner personally to be chosen to go into that overseas project. And I don't know, maybe it's a fantasy or whatever, but it it actually, they had a reason on choosing me,
Yeah.
because they've seen that I was taking every opportunity. I was eager to learn. Therefore, if you showcase your eagerness to learn, and you're participating, or you're asking questions, or you're trying to put an effort in every new project and offer to help, if you're offering to help your colleagues, it's very important. They're gonna choose you every time. Therefore, it was very important for me to participate, especially when you're young. Your time is limitless. So, and your energy also is limitless. So put your energy out, attend events, participate in projects, take courses, and I was trying, and until today, I'm attending advanced courses offered by ACCA, and I'm on continuous professional development, on AI, on everything that you can imagine. And those courses and it has an enormous amount of free courses, and that actually offered me so many skills that I can advance my profession. And continuous professional development is key to staying relevant and competitive, because our industry, it's a fast evolving field, and you have to stay updated, and you actually have to stay updated every time.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think the need to embrace innovation, change, keep on top of things is so important, and now more than ever. I mean, the speed of change is amazing, and not just within the industry, but in roles as well. There are roles that exist now that didn't exist, just a few years ago, and who knows where we'll go in the future. So I think like you say, just showing that you're eager to learn and to embrace that, I think, is such important. But also it helps prepare you for future challenges. It means that you've learned different skills along the way that are then that you can draw on in the future when you need to. So yeah, completely agree. Now, I've taken up so much of your time, and it's been really, really great to talk to you. But before we wrap up, I always like to ask ACCA members if they have any final thoughts that they'd like to share with students or affiliates as well, who are still on that journey to membership.
Okay, so it's gonna be very challenging. Don't even imagine to quit. Like every 3 months, I was imagining quitting and stopping the ACCA because I was struggling. During the day you're at work, then you have to go to your courses online or in person. It was a struggle, but as I've said, it's so rewarding. At the end of the day, it's challenging, but it is incredible rewarding. And we have to embrace the learning opportunities. Seek feedback, because it's so important to seek feedback, and be proactive about your professional growth. We all have ACCA with us in our journey in order to better equip us as professionals, but we also have to make our efforts into the world in order to be as best professionals as we ought to be. In order, we are working on a single purpose. Everybody's doing different works, but we work on a single purpose, which is to create sustainable economies. And this is what we have to strive for. Embrace every challenge, and your challenges actually are shaping you. And your dedication will pave the way to successful career in finance every time. If you are eager to learn, if you are eager to go above and beyond, you will be rewarded. Not now. We don't have to have a short span of attention or of patience. Just embrace the journey. We have to all work on that single purpose to grow and create sustainable economies for everybody. So this is my, I think, key takeaway.
I think that's such a good place to end. It's really inspiring because, like you say, it can be so hard when you're in the middle of it. And it's really key to remember the reason that you're on this pathway. And so hearing from someone who's been through it and has got all of the amazing experience that you've had so far, it's been really valuable to talk to you. So thank you so much for joining us, Effie. But thank you to everyone watching as well. We'll put some more information about how to hear more from you, Effie, in the episode description, because I know, like you said, you're a podcaster, so if anyone wants to check you out, they can. But Thank you for joining, and take care.
Thank you too. Ciao, ciao.